John Humphreys. I'm the founder of Risk Priorities. At Risk Priorities, we increase a company's ability to have successful interactions with regulators. Aside from myself, we have a number of different team members. We have a 5-person advisory board. We have a developer, 2 UX designers, a project manager, and also a QA analyst. To provide a little bit of context, from a financial services industry perspective, financial services has received a significant amount of regulatory issues which basically surfaced during the costly remediations. 2009 to 2017, banks faced over $260 billion in fines, penalties, and legal fees. They're spending a significant amount of money on compliance costs. They're spending upwards around $70 billion annually on compliance. Chief compliance officers that we've spoken to have been very concerned about personal liability issues. Prior to forming Risk Priorities, we did quite a bit of customer discovery and met with about 20 different financial service companies. And as part of that customer discovery, we determined that employees are interacting daily with many regulators across the globe. A lot of those interactions consist of overlapping conversations and requests from regulators. The process to manage those interactions is highly manual, and often those interactions are unstructured, and there's few data points that are captured during those interactions. And as a result, there's a lack of business intelligence related to the interactions, and it's hard to get a picture of what's going on across the environment. A lot of companies are operating in the dark related to regulatory interactions. This is a high-risk problem that can result in regulatory issues, fines, increased legal fees, but also result in reputation risk. So the solution is a platform called the Regulatory Engagement System. It's a one-stop shop platform. It's a single source solution that helps a company manage its interactions with regulators. Just in terms of some of the features that it provides, there's a risk engine, which is a risk model, which basically shows the risk of every regulatory examination that the firm has. There's a correlations engine that enables the company to quickly manage information. There's also a search engine. There's knowledge management capabilities. And also there's a very holistic and granular view across their environment from a business intelligence perspective. In terms of the value of the solution, it basically, overall, our platform increases a company's ability to have a successful interaction with regulators, which in return, that should decrease costs, result in less regulatory remediation in terms of regulatory issues, and lead them down the path of success. Overall, the solution increases the company's ability to have a strong risk and compliance culture, which will result in a good outcome. In terms of the addressable market, we're focused on financial service companies. Having said that, our solution could be used by pharmaceutical, life sciences, and healthcare, any type of company that's highly regulated effectively. In terms of differentiation, when we've looked out across the landscape and we've validated this with a number of potential customers, there is no comparable solution out there. We have a number of different features that are really focused on managing the interactions, whereas some of the competitors are actually focused on document management, workflow management, and other features. In terms of the go-to-market strategy, we're basically leveraging our financial service contacts. We're exploring business development opportunities, and we're also doing some marketing. Just in terms of from a thought leadership perspective, we've written a number of different RegTech related articles. Some have been included within Forbes. Participated in a panel discussion at the RAND Corporation also. Just in terms of traction, as of 2017, we released our production software. We had three trials that were run with 2 large banks and 1 mortgage servicer. We had a friends and family capital raise in 2017. And in 2018, we're looking to convert our first trial into a paying customer and to acquire funding through a Series A or seed round. Thank you for your time.
So when you collect the data points with these regulatory interactions, first question is, what data points are you collecting? And how does that enable, and second question is, how do those data points enable you to proactively identify areas that the relevant financial institution should go after?
So we basically, when we're collecting the data points pertain to legal entities related to the regulatory examination or the regulatory query or even the relationship management activity. The bank could be reaching out to the regulator to keep them abreast of a certain topic or initiative. We keep track of the legal entity, department, the country, the regulations within scope. All that information is gathered internally within the system, and that can be used for very advanced business intelligence across their environment. We have within the platform, there's different maps. It shows different countries and different perspectives and what's going on in that environment.
You mentioned that you've got a couple of clients that you've currently got trials with, and you're looking to hopefully convert one of those trials to a paying customer relationship. How are those trials going? What value are you able to demonstrate to the clients that you're working with versus maybe what areas are they suggesting you continue to develop your proposition in?
Just in terms of the trials have gone very well. The trial has gone especially well with the mortgage servicer. The mortgage servicer operates in a number of different states in the United States. The value that they're getting out of it is the transparency and the rigor that goes along with the solution. It's very easy to use, so they found it very easy to use the trial.
Thank you.